Мене
7 Belarusian battalions deployed at border with Ukraine. 7 battalions of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Belarus have been deployed at the state border with Ukraine. The relevant statement was made by the main intelligence directorate of the Ukrainian Defense Ministry on Facebook, referring to an interview of its representative, Vadim Skibitsky, a Ukrinform correspondent reports. According to Skibitsky, the threat of the Belarusian army invading the territory of Ukraine from a military perspective is persisting. But at the moment, the direct military offensive from Belarus is unlikely to be touched. Today, there is no direct threat from Belarus, as a military grouping has not been created and a relevant control system has not been established. This is the key element of direct preparations for hostilities, Skibitsky noted. Meanwhile, 7 Belarusian battalions kept at the border with Ukraine are forcing the Ukrainian command to attract additional deterrent forces and enhance reconnaissance. This diverts resources and means from our eastern front. In addition, continuous troops transfers are aimed at keeping us under tension. Separate elements, tactical episodes of possible offensive actions from the territory of Belarus are considered, Skibitsky explained. A reminder that according to the Center for Countering Disinformation at the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, the Kremlin propagandists are actively spreading narratives about the high probability of the attack on Ukraine by Belarusian forces to sow panic among Ukrainians.
Allahu Akbar.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has claimed that the Western response to his war in Ukraine is pushing Russia and Belarus towards unification. Unprecedented political and sanctions pressures from the collective West is pushing Russia and Belarus to speed up the unification process, Putin told a bilateral forum in the Belarusian city of Grodno on Friday. After all, it is easier to minimize the damage from illegal sanctions. It is easier to master the production of demanded products, develop new competencies, and expand cooperation with friendly countries, the Russian leader added. In 1997, Belarus and Russia signed a treaty that sought to mend relations that disintegrated following the collapse of the Soviet Union 6 years earlier. Days after Putin invaded Ukraine, the neighboring countries reaffirmed their commitment to boost state cooperation amid Western sanctions. We are taking coordinated measures to protect our economic security and the technological sovereignty of Russia and Belarus, Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin said after meeting his Belarusian counterpart Roman Golovchenko in Moscow on March 14. Talks of possible unification between Russia and its ally Belarus gained momentum in late 2020 when Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko was supported financially and politically by Putin amid protests that broke out after allegations of voter fraud during the country's presidential election. Putin didn't elaborate Friday on the possible unification process between the two countries. His remarks come days after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned Belarusians not to allow Putin to drag their country into this war against Ukraine. "You are being drawn into the war. The Kremlin has already decided everything for you," Zelensky said during a video address on Sunday night. Meanwhile, in the Seversky direction, Russian troops continue to hold units in the border areas of Bryansk region and Kursk regions. The enemy fired at Ukrainian positions with artillery. Russian invaders conducted air reconnaissance with unmanned aerial vehicles near the village of Kaisla Dubaina. They also deployed electronic warfare systems near Oleshena, Kursk region. In the Kharkiv direction, Russian occupiers are defending the previously captured frontiers. The enemy launched airstrikes near Prodyanka and Ognorobivka and a missile strike on the city of Kharkiv. Russia's assault operations in the direction of Kochebivka, Dementovka were immediately prevented by the Ukrainian forces. The enemy fired at such settlements as Pytomnik, Dementovka, Ivanovka, Rubizhny, Yaversky, Petrovka, Ruskitishki, and Kutuzivka with artillery. In the Sloviansk direction, Russian troops are regrouping. Ukrainian defenders successfully repulsed the enemy's assault operations in the direction of Dvhenke Mazinevka. The enemy retreated. Russian invaders also carried out assault operations in order to gain full control over Bohorodinshny, but had no success. Russian troops opened fire near such settlements as Bohorodishny, Krasnopilya, Kurulka, Vernopilya, and Chervona Polyana.